So the weather in Fortaleza, it's right next to the equator, so it's also very dry there. And there's a dry season and a wet season. So the dry season will be really hot, usually 90 degrees every day. And then there will be the wet season, in which case it will rain, sometimes for 3 or 4 days at a time, and the streets will flood and everything. And people treat that as sort of their winter. They'll call it winter, even though it only drops like 5 to 10 degrees, and people get colds and everything because they're not used to the change in temperature. But it's a very tropical climate, so clothes, definitely bring an umbrella, and but yeah, it's a great climate. It'll be hot because there's usually not any air conditioning. I know none of the missionaries have air conditioning, and very few people that live there will have air conditioning. You only see that in houses, or not houses, but in banks. So housing is a lot different than the houses here. It's a little bit difficult to describe. They build their houses out of a hollow cinder block type brick versus the wood that we build our houses with. And it's hard to describe. The housing is very different, though. You have to see it to really see the difference. The houses are definitely a lot smaller, and usually families it's very common to have extended family living with families. So grandparents or cousins very commonly live with their other people. There's a very large income inequality in Fortaleza. So there's both favelas there, which are total slums, are very, very small homes, sometimes made with scrap wood and stuff like that, and sometimes they're a little bit nicer as well. And there's also people who live in high-rise skyscrapers, and it'll be very, very nice houses. And so along with that, what people do for work is very diverse. A lot of people will be day laborers, and there'll be some people that work at banks or work for different businesses. I know one of the wealthy members of the church there owns his own funeral home, and it's actually really popular there. And so it's very diverse what people do for work there. Okay. So transportation, I know for us missionaries, if we had to go somewhere further than we could walk, it was usually always the bus. The city bus is an experience. It's usually very, 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 very crowded. They'll put literally 80 people in the bus. And so not only is it standing room only, but it's, you'll be touched on all 4 corners of your body, be very close to everybody. And that's usually how you get around the city. In the interior, the buses aren't usually that crowded. There's usually a lot of traffic in the center of the city. I think that's like normal cities. Some of the members will have cars, depending on which area you serve in. I know I had one area where I think only 3 members in the ward had cars, and then another area where maybe half the members had cars. That was a much more wealthy area, so it just really depends on the area. But definitely most people in the city of Fortaleza and in the mission don't have cars, and they usually use bike or bus transport. But as far as for tourists, I hear the beaches are really nice. So I do plan to go back, and it'd be nice to go visit the beaches along with the people I served. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a Burger King right next to the mission office. Great. It's awesome. It's awesome to have some American food occasionally. Burger King is really, it's a really, it's a fast food restaurant. It's not very chic or anything like that. But Burger King is considered a very nice restaurant. And the burgers are usually about twice the price as they are here. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, beware of people on bikes. So people on bikes seem to be more likely to assault you. Don't carry anything that looks valuable, and try to blend in. I think you'll be fine. And missionaries get assaulted a lot more than the normal people there. But and don't ever take your cell phone out in public. So just obey the Spirit. There's definitely certain things you'd be warned about not to do.